Hey garden friends, welcome back to KellyNo Garden. My name is Kelly. I live in Southeast Michigan in the Zone 6B. Today is the end of July garden tour. So we made it all the way to the end of July. It has been a hot and dry summer this year. So let's take a tour of what's blooming in the backyard. Before I get started with July garden tour, it's the next day, August the 1st. I want to kind of do a brief update on the plants on the balcony. This morning I woke up when I was watering. I said, ooh, let me go ahead and record a video on top of the balcony and show you guys how the plants are doing. What you guys are looking at are sweet potato vines and rocking salvia. They are purple blooms and it's so pretty. I planted this on the 4th of July and look how massive they got so far. It only been like a month planted. Let's get a closer look. This sweet potato vine was small and look how massive it got. This is not my first time growing sweet potato vines. Normally grow them in front, but this is my first time doing it on the balcony because I wanted something to drag down. So, and also it's late, it was late in the season and I didn't have that much plants to pick, so I knew the sweet potato vines will fill and fall down. And then this is the thriller. It's proven winners. The reason why I picked this combination is, for one, is the color of each leaf, because you can see the purple into the sweet potato vine and the salvias and the light green with the sweet potato vine. This is so pretty. And the second planter is doing the same as well, is filling in. Wish I had did this earlier in the season because it would have been falling all the way down. It's so pretty. Then what you have here is the Summer Snapdragons by Proven Winner. I have the blue and the pink, and then you have the white wave petunias. I planted this in June and look how much it has grown since June. It's only been 2 months now since I planted this plant. And hummingbirds love the snapdragons. Every morning I come out here, it's a hummingbird always at the snapdragons and the salvias. Then this is the King Tut that I planted in the beginning of June. I made sure I linked the video in the top corner. And look how much the wave petunias is blooming. It's going through the first flush, now it's going through a second flush of new flowers. You really don't have to deadhead them. You can leave them as is. I don't deadhead the petunias. And then the King Tut is blooming like little flowers on it. And then over here, it did say African daisies, but I think they mislabeled it because that is not African daisy that I planted. Because I had went back and looked at the label and say, this say African daisy. So if you do get plants from Dollar Tree, the seeds from Dollar Tree, be careful. You might get something that you thought you was going to get. But then here is the Proven Winner Treasure Berry strawberries plant that I had from last year. I already had a couple strawberries I already ate a couple of them so far. I got a couple more that's getting ready to bloom. So let's take a look at the backyard. So what we have next to Dino are the cone flowers. I have so many different colors and so many different varieties of cone flowers. And down below are the banana cream 2 daisies inside a pot. I usually put things in pots to see if it looks right in the area. So like next year, if I don't like it here, I'll just move the pot out the way and move it to the other side of the yard. And you remember in the beginning of July, I had cut the grass down to half. Look how full and fast it grew. And the reason why I cut it is because the Rose of Sharon was getting swallowed, as well as some of the coneflower. So it needed to get sheared back. And me and Rick, we put a ring around it, like 3 rings around it, to tame it, to keep it on that side of the yard. What's blooming right now are the hostas. Some people like the flower that bloom with it. I do. I prefer to leave it. They are so pretty, and hummingbirds love the hosta bloom, so I just leave it because I love to sit here and watch hummingbirds outside all day. So this is what the flower looks like. And this hosta is 10 years old. I bought it for like $3, and it's 10 years old. And look how pretty it is. And right here are the midnight that needed to be badly divided, because we had a storm the other day and it just like split it in half. So it's time to divide. When you see plants that split like this, it's time to divide it. So let me step back so you can take a good look how all the combinations of plants coming together with the grass and the coneflowers and the hostas. But the midnight masquerade was so pretty when it was blooming back in June. I just love to leave the seed heads up, and I just love that purple and green color with the lime green and the pink coneflowers. And here in the middle, the tall tree in the back is a dwarf pine. Where the pot is at, I had rudbeckias there, and it didn't do too well with the fountain. So I just put the pot there with a stepping stone, so I know not to plant anything there. And Diggo Dino running around behind me. Tomorrow we're supposed to be getting a storm, so I'm not putting any water in the fountain, because sometimes we get like maybe 4 inches of rain. Like, I remember last year we got 4 inches of rain. Some areas over here got 5 inches. So I just drain it out and wait till the storm passes, and then put more water back into the fountain. What you're looking at is cosmos. What I like about the leaf toucher of the cosmos and the sedum is pretty. You got the lime green and the dark green, and then the yellow. I say this is a pretty combination. I can't wait till the cosmos start blooming. And just pretty combination, especially when you step back and see all 3 together. It's a pretty combination. Then I have another hosta over here. Everything is doing fabulous. I did put a sunflower that I was planting up on the balcony down here, and it looked like the Japanese beetle is still over here eating up the stuff. So I will have to spray it down. The banana cream daisies need to get cut back a little. Got the plants on sale. The lilies are finished. I'll make sure I put a video up showing how the lilies was looking when it was fully blooming. Then this hosta get burned a lot because it's in sun almost practically all day. But down below, your hosta is still green. So after August, that's in September, I will cut the leaves back so it can reveal the green of the leaves. But it's blooming pretty. And I also water my hostas every day with the dwarf pines, because a lot of this heat stress plants out. So you have to water every other day or every day if you can afford it. Yes, more of the coneflowers. The hollyhocks is finished. I may get a little bit more blooms towards September. But I have different varieties of coneflowers in my backyard. And then what we have here is the hibiscus. When I bought it, it was in a black container. It's a hibiscus. I don't know the name of it. It just said hibiscus. But they are red. I'm thinking about getting a second hibiscus tree and not put it back here, but put it on the side of the house, because I like the Proven Winners hibiscus that they have. My mother, she has one, and it's so pretty. But look at these salsa plate flowers, so pretty, especially when they blow in the wind. This is how it looks when it's finished. That was the first one that bloomed yesterday, and then all the rest of them bloom. They only last for like 2 days. And these don't self-seed, which is cool. Like the Rose of Sharon, they self-seed, but these don't. I just like how everything is coming along in the backyard. I am debating on, should I put a rose bush here next to the lilac tree. The lilac tree should be anywhere from 10 to 12 feet when it's mature. But I'm debating on, should I put a rose bush where the sedum at, because I have a whole lot of space up front that's open that I can fill the flower bed up with. Now I just love the leaf color of this tree. Just love it. The lily, not the lily, but the lilac. The lilac, I just love the color. Then we have another hosta. This is the mouse ear hosta, and the flowers are lavender. Just pretty. And right now what's blooming are the Millenniums. There was a whole lot of flies on them yesterday. So tomorrow I should have bees swarming this area. I'm going to stay my distance from this area. So in the morning, I do need to weed before the storm, is to weed at the bottom before the bees wake up. Right now, ain't no bees. I could do it now, but I'm going to wait till tomorrow morning. And then what you have here is the Blazing Star. It got other names to this plant, but right now I can just remember the Blazing Star. So pretty. It's almost finished blooming. This is how it looks when it's done blooming. It starts from the top and go all the way down to the bottom. Then sometimes you might have a few that's at the bottom. What you guys are looking at are the Italian sunflowers. They start blooming this week. Have 2 different colors. They self-seeded from last year because I threw some seeds back here, and they just self-seeded itself. We'll hop back there so you guys can see how pretty it is, but I don't want to fall and kill myself. So look how pretty that flower is. I just love sunflowers. Then we got the 3 boxwoods. Then you got some sedum down here and some lavenders that's continue to bloom. But now it's time for me to go ahead and cut some of the blooms back because it's finished the 2nd flush. So I'm going ahead and get the 3rd flush for the season. The lady plums are continuously blooming. What I like to do is let it get to here, to this point, and if you wait till it dry and flick it, you spread the seed in that area. Or you could cut it and move the seeds into other areas of the yard. Now this lavender has some fresh blooms, but it's time to go ahead and cut this back as well. So this is how this area is looking with the sunflowers in the back and the 3 boxwoods. I have a Rose of Sharon that's next to the vine that's about to get ready to bloom, so let's take a look at that. So what you're looking at is a Rose of Sharon. It's white bloom and it's ready to bloom. It got full of bugs on it. It will bloom all the way into the first frost. And this is the first year that it's in this yard. Right next to it is a sunflower. And down below are the phlox that's finished. I have some phlox that's blooming over here, and there's phlox blooming on the other side. Just so pretty. And there's a lot of ants on this sunflower. The reason why it's ants on here because they like the sweet nectar of the flower, and plus it helped the plant develop a bigger and better bloom. So the blazing stars are finished. I like to leave the stake up for the season. What's blooming right now that's almost finished is the giant lily. I have so many blossoms this year on this plant, and I had to stake it to the fence because it was so heavy. And that fence is 5 feet tall, so that's like 5.5 feet. So pretty. So I had to stake it in 3 areas so the wind doesn't knock it down. The zinnia, the candy cane zinnia, is about to get ready to bloom. I cannot wait. I just love the striped colors to this flower. Then I have some more banana cream. The yarrows are doing fine. It's almost finished. You can see some of them still have color, and you see some of them are fading out. And back there are the white phlox that's finishing up right next to the yellow yarrows. What you guys are looking at is the puxy blue butterfly bush. It only grows by 2 by 2. And it's a pretty bush, and it did grow a lot of flowers. It's looking good over here. But I gotta remind myself in the winter to make sure to put some mulch over it, because a lot of people was complaining about it doesn't come back. Then right here I have another sunflower. And I see the top of the flower about to get ready to come out. So the only thing that's left that needs to bloom in this area are the sunflowers and the zinnias. So let's take one last look before I move to the back of the house. Sun tusks are doing amazing. I just love the color of the yellow, and the sun, it's just so cheerful right here. And then next to it is more hostas, and we also have a hydrangea tree. I just say it's a hydrangea bush. It's pretty. Some of them already bloom. Some still need to bloom, like this one is about to get ready to bloom. Then you got this one's ready to bloom. And this one is finished blooming. And what's so interesting is the colors that I got on here. Now, this is the color I was trying to get. Some of them blue, some of them white. Very, very, very interesting. And then you see this one is done blooming as well. So let's go on the other side where the bird bath is at. I love Rebecca so much. It self-seeded itself because the Rebecca's was where the fountain was at. And when the birds grab the seeds, they bring them over here. So I just love these colors. Just so pretty. But it's almost finished. It lasts quite a long time. It could last all the way into the fall, to the first snowfall. I have different colors. And then I have some more zinnias in the back and coneflowers. And look at these Rebecca's. Right here is the phlox. Look how big these phlox are. They're the biggest I ever seen. And I'm gonna have to divide them again. I divided them last year. Now I'm gonna have to redivide them again. This is so pretty. Then I have some more right here. I mean, it gets sun during the afternoon, but this one stay more into the shade. That's why it's like a lower height versus this one. And plus this fence is keeping it together. I like how it pop out on the fence right next to the cone flowers. I just love these combination. It's so pretty. And I'm gonna step back so you guys can see how everything is looking over here. I am in love with this Black-Eyed Susan plant, and it's in the shade area. What I'm going to do is save the seed head and try to put it in other parts of the yard for next year. Now we are on the side of the driveway. I had to do a voiceover because my neighbors was having a party and they was taking a family picture in front of the house and they got really, really loud. What you're looking at is the sun tusk, and I just love this yellow color in this area. When you pull up in the driveway, this is the first thing that you see. What's in the front of the flower beds are dahlias, jumbo elephant ear, and golden butterfly. Let's check out the front of the house. What I have on the porch are several containers and hanging basket. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe. Comment down below if you have any questions. Like this video, and thank you. Have a nice, beautiful day.